Hey guys, what is going on? Hexlex here with another Master Duel video for you guys. Today in this one, we're going to be taking yet another look at our Prank-Kids deck. I've got some more live gameplay for you guys here. As I have been doing with quite a few of my other live gameplay videos, I'm actually currently streaming this video on Twitch as I'm recording it. Or rather, I'm streaming on Twitch right now as I'm recording the video. So if you guys want to see some exclusive looks at some games and maybe even sometimes some decks that I have not shown yet on the channel, feel free to go down in my description. You'll see links to both the Twitter and the Twitch down there. And yeah, you can you can click either of those links is what I meant to say, and you can follow me on both or either platforms to get notifications of when I stream. On Twitter, I usually tweet at least about an hour out before I do stream. And yeah, I just looked over here. J-Sank says hi to YouTube. YouTube, say hello back to J-Sank here. But yeah, no, like I was saying, if you want to follow me there, that would be cool, but don't feel like you have to necessarily. You can always check out the videos here on the channel as well. So yeah, we are going to be playing more Prank-Kids, and as I showed here, I am actually now playing Rip, Roar, and Roaster in my extra deck. I believe this is the first the first video I'm putting on YouTube, rather, where I have Rip, Roar, and Roaster. Wow, I cannot talk today. In the extra deck, I've also took out the third Rocksies for a Harpie's Feather Duster, but I believe that was also the case in the last video I recorded. Wow, you know, sometimes it kind of is not so great when I record a whole bunch of videos in a row, because then I'm like, oh wait, what order is these going out in again? But it is what it is. So yeah, Prank-Kids are fast becoming one of my new favorite decks. I honestly just so love the playstyle. I mean, I've said it multiple times by now. This deck plays very, very similarly to Tri-Brigade Zodiac in that, you know, we play out part of our combo on our turn, and then we just do the second half on our opponent's turn. And the second half of our combo also enables us to have a good bit of disruption as well. Being able to battle Butler during the opponent's turn, oh, so good. And then also Rip, Roar, and Roaster, it's actually not very difficult to make this card for turn one. All you need is any two Prank-Kids monsters, as long as they have different names. If you open two Prank-Kids monsters, you can actually summon a Rip, Roar, and Roaster and still have a battle Butler set up. And that is very good to go into our first turn with, because then if our opponent happens to be playing like Eldlich or some other like stun or very back row heavy based deck, we can just board wipe them on turn one, on their first turn rather, before they even have a chance to respond with any of their back rows. It's even helpful against decks like Tri-Brigade Zodiac. Like, there are some scenarios where your opponent just does like the basic Rugal combo to set up a revolt, and that's all they can do. Well, the Rugal in and of itself isn't that threatening, so we can save our Battle Butler and not even use the effect. We can just go and use Rip, Roar, and Roaster and pop the face down we know is revolt during the int phase, and then they're not able to respond with it. So Rip, Roar, and Roaster actually does have a lot more utility than I initially gave it credit for. But I mean, of course, as always when I build a new deck, I tend to build out the necessary cards first and work with a build that uses those, and then I go into some more like quote-unquote optional stuff like Rip, Roar, and Roaster. Prank-Kids is also a really cool deck in that there are so many different ways you can build it with so many different side options. Like, one thing that I'm not playing yet, that I haven't tried yet rather, is if I can spell here, is it's a Nemesis Corridor, I believe. Oh no, it's not Nemesis Corridor. It's the Thunder Monster and then Thunder Dragon Colossus. I can never remember the Thunder Monster's name, but I remember the art in my head, which I know is very helpful for describing it. But yeah, and then there's also, like, you can go into a second Battle Butler. You could play, what is the other line I think you have? Oh, you can play Skill Drains, you can play Polymerizations. Like, there's so many different things you can try with Prank-Topless. With Prank-Kids. I actually didn't even mean to call it Prank-Topless there. But, yeah, right now I'm still not in the learning phases, but like, I want to get to a point where I have what I consider not a mastery, but like a very skilled grasp on the deck, and then maybe I'll start trying some of these fun like tech stuff and seeing exactly what balance of these cards works best for me. Honestly, I find, and this deck is a huge example of it, I find that oftentimes building decks is as fun as playing the game, and Prank-Kids, as fun to build as play, let me tell you. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Let's go ahead and go into the card list, and then we will take a look at some live games. Here at the top, we've got 3 Prank-Kids Fansies, followed by 3 Maxx, 3 Prank-Kids Dropsies, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 3 Prank-Kids Lampsies, 2 Prank-Kids Rocksies, and then 2 Nibiru the Primal Being. Moving on to the spells, we've got Harpie's Feather Duster, Monster Reborn, Terraforming, Instant Fusion, Thunder Dragon Fusion, 3 Prank-Kids Place, or as I like to call it, Prank-Topless, 1 Prank-Kids Pranks, 2 Called by the Grave, 2 Prank-Kids Pandemonium, 3 Crossout Designator, 2 Forbidden Droplets, 3 Infinite Impermanence. Now down here in the extra deck, we've got Prank-Kids Rocket Ride, Prank-Kids Weather Washer, Prank-Kids Battle Butler, Toadally Awesome, 3 Prank-Kids Meow Meow Moo, 3 Prank-Kids Doodle Doo, 1 Prank-Kids Bow Wow Bark, 1 Predaplant Vert Anaconda, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Prank-Kids Rip Roarin' Roaster, and 1 Access Code Talker. I don't remember if I mentioned it during the recording or when I was just starting the stream, but I did take out Knightmare Phoenix in order to put in Prank-Kids Rip Roarin' Roaster, and then, like I mentioned earlier, I took out the third Rocksies for the Harpie's Feather Dusters. So those are the changes from my initial deck profile that I showed on YouTube. Yeah, I think I've gushed enough about this deck at this point. Let's go ahead and get into some gameplay here. Alrighty, we've got our first opponent here. Gotta love somebody with the upstart goblin icon and the pot of greed avatar, or mate rather. We are going first. We always like to see that as Prank-Kids. Let's see what kind of an opening we get. As long as we get at least 1 Prank-Kids monster, we are good to go here. And we got a Prank-Kids Place, which is as good as a Prank-Kids monster. And we have a Call By and a Crossout Designator. This is a fairly good opening hand. We're going to activate our Place. Let's see if our opponent has a response here. If they respond with Ash, I'm going to Call By it. I like to save the Crossout Designator for Nibiru, because obviously we can't Call By the Nibiru there. So, same deal with Maxx. I'll Call By it before I cross that Designator. And sure enough, they do have Ash Blossom, which is pretty much this deck's mortal enemy. But we have Call By, which is Ash Blossom's mortal enemy. And okay, they do have another quick effect in their hand, but they chose not to respond. I wonder if it's Maxx. Yes, we would definitely like to add a monster. I'm going to add Lampsies, is usually the one I like to start with if possible. You could start with Dropsies. I mean, really, you could start with any of them, but I like to start with Lampsies there. So let's normal summon Lampsies. Our opponent does, in fact, have the Maxx as well. So it's a good thing we also opened Crossout Designator. This is why I like having 3 copies of this card in this deck. Or really just this card in this deck in general. If you can only craft 2, then put 2. I mean, even if you can only craft 1, in addition to the Call Bys, it's very, very helpful. As you can see here, like live demonstration, literally a live demonstration of it. Alright, so now our opponent's down to 3 cards in hand, and we know they can't Ash or CS for the rest of the turn. If they have a Nibiru on top of that, then you know what? Good for them. They wanted it that badly. Or they just got that lucky. One or the other. Alright, we're going to go ahead and activate Lampsies effect, and that we've linked to Meow Meow Moo. We get to special summon a monster of the field. We're going to go for Fansies next. This is a pretty standard 1-card combo line. We're going to next link into Doodle Doo, sending Fansies and Meow Meow Moo. I'm also trying to count. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3. This is going to be summon number 4 with the Fansies. Even though our opponent Ash and Seed, we're as always going to chain block here. Chain blocking the... Actually, you know what? It might have been smarter to chain block the Fansies for the Doodle Doo in this scenario. Looks like they didn't have a response anyway. But given that they already Maxx Seed and Ashed, it wouldn't be that out of the realm of possibility for our opponent to have Effect Veiler here. So in that scenario, in this very, very specific scenario, it might have actually been better to chain block the other way around. That's interesting. I should have thought about that a little bit more before I just clicked the button there. It didn't end up mattering, but we're going to go ahead and send the Pandemonium and add the Pranks to our hand, and of course we would love to special summon a monster. We're going to go into Dropsies next. We'll put it right over here. Now, before we're going into our next link, I'm going to go ahead and activate my Doodle Doo's ability, tributing it in order to return the Pandemonium and either of the Prank-Kids monsters. We'll just get back Fansies into our hand. Alright, now let's go ahead and activate our Prank-Kids Pranks. And then we will go ahead and use its ability. We don't want to use Pandemonium just yet. We're actually going to use that on our opponent's turn. We're going to discard that Fansies we added, or if you added Lampsies, you'll discard Lampsies there to get our Prank-Kids token. Now that we have 2 Prank-Kids monsters again, we're going to go into our second Doodle Doo. Let's send the token and the Dropsies there. And boom, throw down Doodle Doo right there. Now this one enables us to get our last Prank-Kid out of the deck. It'll be Rocksies in this case. Yes, we'll activate Dropsies effect for sure. To special summon, as I mentioned, the Rocksies. Right over here. Alright, now we can go into our next and final Link monster for this turn. It's going to be Bow Wow Bark. Let's send the Rocksies and the Doodle Doodle Doo as materials. And plop down the Bow Wow Bark right there. Okay, now we get to activate our Rocksies effect. I think in this scenario, I'm going to go ahead and banish Nibiru because I'm going to be because I'm going to have an established board. I don't want to obviously Nibiru on my own board, and I can use Droplet during my opponent's turn as disruption. Of course, that's going to be in addition to the Battle Butler we're setting up here. We drew a Fansies. That's okay, you know, it is what it is. It's whatever. Actually, you know what? Since we drew a Fansies, normally I'd summon a Fansies here in defense mode. But we could actually summon Dropsies. Well, we want to summon Lampsies. I want the 2 Dropsies in the deck. I want to get those off of my Battle Butler fusion. So since I drew a Fansies, I'm going to summon Lampsies here. Normally, I would probably summon Fansies here rather instead. It doesn't hugely matter, but just to keep ratioing relatively even, I'm going to get the Lampsies. Setting Pandemonium and Droplet like I mentioned, and then we're going to pass to our opponent. So now we have the Battle Butler set up. Oh, and of course we get to draw off of our Prank-Kids pranks as well. I'm going to put back, and I am going to be specific about this, I'm going to put back Doodle Doodle Doo, Rocksies, and Fansies. I want to leave Dropsies and Lampsies in the graveyard. Well, normally it would matter more if I'd gotten Fansies out here. But since I have Lampsies here, it matters a little bit less. But if you only had Fansies out in Bow Wow Bark and no other Prank-Kids cards, these would be what you would want to put back here. So that way you would be able to fuse into Battle Butler. It's very easy if you're not paying attention to cut yourself off of Battle Butler with Prank-Kids pranks like this. So you do want to be mindful of that. Okay, opponent's going into their turn here. They've only got 4 cards. I've got a Droplet and a Battle Butler set up, so I'm actually not really concerned with what my opponent's going to be able to do here. Foolish Burial Guards, so this is going to be a Sky Striker deck. I kind of had a suspicion just by the fact that they open. I mean, they open Ash and Sea. Every deck plays 3 of each of those, so. But I just wondered, okay, lots of hand traps, maybe it's Sky Striker, so. I don't need to chain Bow Wow Bark and Pandemonium just yet. Sometimes you can wait and kind of get your opponent with like an Imperm or some kind of form of removal, or like a Lightning Storm or something. They'll try to remove your Bow Wow Bark, and then you can like chain your Pandemonium, chain your Bow Wow Bark, and then you've wasted their removal. I've also got the Droplet down here, so another reason I'm not popping off into Battle Butler just yet is if my opponent activates a monster effect on board that I want to negate, I can potentially chain Droplet and send the Pandemonium from the field to the graveyard as it's resolving. Okay, my opponent's going to normal summon Ray. I don't need to change just yet. Let's see what ends up happening here. So they're going into their battle phase. Looks like they're going to try to attack my Lampsies here. I definitely don't want to activate this just yet. Let's let them go into the battle phase. And it actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, it doesn't even matter if they attack Lampsies, because I can just Bow Wow Bark and get back Lampsies and Dropsies. I already have Fansies in hand. Because I'm just thinking I might want to just Droplet in response to when they try to use Ray's effect. I think that's actually going to be my best opportunity to do it here. To cut them off like from their plays. Well, it won't cut them off from their plays necessarily. Wow, this is actually like weirdly kind of narrow. Like whether or not I allow this attack to resolve. Whether we're just fused with this. This is like so matter. It like so doesn't matter, but it so does at the same time here. Well, then they won't be able to Hayate during the battle phase, so I think it is right to let this attack resolve. I think that's kind of the tiebreaker for the decision there for me. If I get the Ray's effect during the battle phase now, sure they can go into like Shizuku during main phase 2, but then they won't be able to Hayate during the battle phase, and that's really what I'm like opting to stop here. Oh, I guess I just didn't get a chance to respond? Oh, because it attributes itself as a cost, duh. Of course. How could I forget? That's actually fine. It's not that big of a deal because we'll just go ahead and negate the Hayate and still cut them off from doing that as well. So, gonna be more or less the same result here. Let's go ahead and activate. Oh, you know what? We actually have to activate Bow Wow Bark now because we don't. Oh no, because Pandemonium's only during the main phase. That's where I messed up. I was like, why is it Pandemonium showing up here? Well, we can actually still activate Droplet. We'll wait till our opponent declares an attack, I guess. They'll be able to redeclare anyway. But we'll just send place instead. Okay, I did mess the order of that up a little bit. That is a mistake I've actually made a couple of times in practice that I do need to watch, is that I often forget that Pandemonium can only be used during the main phase. You know, I just have it in my brain like, oh, Pandemonium is a quick way spell, so I can use it whenever. But no, it is, even though it's a quick way spell, it is specifically during the main phase. So you do have to be mindful of that. Alright, opponent's going to Afterburners, and now we can go ahead and go into our Battle Butler play. We'll go ahead and flip Pandemonium as the first chain link, and then we're going to respond with Bow Wow Bark as soon as we're able to. And you want to do it specifically in that order. If you do it in the wrong order, also don't use Meow Meow Moo here. But if you do it in the wrong order, then you will end up fusing your Bow Wow Bark and your Prank-Kids in hand into a Rocket Rider. You don't want to do that. We want to make Battle Butler here. So by doing Bow Wow Bark is the chain link after Pandemonium, Bow Wow Bark is going to return Lampsies and Dropsies to our hand. Wow, they have the call by. That's not good. That's really not good. Ooh, that means we don't get our fusion because we don't have enough materials. Oh, no, will we... Oh, no, they just negated the Bow Wow Bark. Okay, yeah, we don't have enough materials, so... That's fine, though. They only have one card in hand. They're just going to link into a Shizuku, and then we still have a Prank-Kids Fansies in our hand so that we can make plays next turn. I'm trying to think of what plays we're going to make. We already have Prank-Kids Pranks out. If we actually draw another Prank-Kids card, we can go for an access code, and then still go into a potential Battle Butler for the next turn. Or actually, we would do it on this turn. We drew Nibiru. Not that great against Sky Strikers here. Let's see what we've got in Grave. Alright, let's go ahead and just start doing a Prank-Kids line here. We normal summon our Fansies. Opponent has a quick effect as their last card. Oh, unless it's... No, it wouldn't be Ray. So yeah, they have... We know they have the Engage, so their last card is another quick effect, another hand trap. It's got to be either C or Ash, because it wasn't coming up during the last turn. Ooh, that's not good. If it's either, then it's got to be C, right? Because yeah, it has to be Max C. That's got to be what they're... Okay, so if it's Max C, why don't you just pop it off now, I wonder. No, it's Effect Veiler. Okay, I was way off on that. Huh. Oh, they must have drawn it for a turn last turn. Okay. That's totally fine. Okay. I do not care at all if you Veiler my Fansies. You can definitely do that. Alright. Let's go ahead and get out Meow Meow Moo here. And then we'll activate our Fansies effect. Okay, let's send a place. We don't need one of those right now. And yes, we're definitely going to special summon a monster to the field. I'm going to lead with Rocksies and try to get a good draw here. I'll get rid of the Nibiru. Alright, now we're going to go into Dodo-Doodle-Doo. Alright, and this draw is going to pretty largely decide how we continue the combo from here. Let's see. Ooh, we could, you know what, we could also just... We could also search a place with Dodo-Doodle-Doo now and get a Prank-Kids monster, and with the Prank-Kids Pranks we already have out, wouldn't enable us to do another line, because I was just going to add Pandemonium, but we could, but then we would have to tribute Dodo-Doodle-Doo in order to add the Pandemonium from Grave back if we wanted to do it that way. And if we're going to go into access code, we'd like the Dodo-Doodle-Doo in order to link, so I think we do just add Pandemonium here. Alright, let's go ahead and banish Nibiru. Ooh, nice. Oh, nice. We drew a Prank-Kids card. That's awesome. I mean, odds were pretty good to draw any Prank-Kids card, so... okay, we did Fansies and then Rocksies, right? Yes, Fansies and then Rocksies. So our two left are Dropsies and Lampsies. Let's do Dropsies next. Okay, so... Now we can Prank-Kids Pranks, summon a Prank-Kids token, go into another Dodo-Doodle-Doo, link into access code, pop Shizuku, Ray will come back, we can just pop Ray as well, smack him for 53, and then next turn we can, or not next turn, during main phase 2, we can use our remaining Prank-Kids monster and access code to go into Vert Anaconda, send Thunder Dragon Fusion, and then summon the Battle Butler. That's the plan right now. Alright, let's do that. We're definitely going to discard Fansies. We'll get the token in defense mode. We'll go into another Dodo-Doodle-Doo, like I mentioned. Yes, we will definitely activate Dropsies. I believe Lampsies should be our last prank kid. No, don't do that. Special summon. Lampsies. Yes, we have not used Lampsies yet. We'll throw Lampsies over here. Alright, now let's special summon access code. Yes, 2 materials, and yes, 2 materials. To access code. Ooh, Shat brings up a good point. He will, yeah, our opponent will kinda us. Ooh, that's a very good point. Yeah, when I pop this Shizuku, if I choose to pop it with access code, that is, then the Ray will quick effect go into a kinda. So, thank you, Shat. Thank you specifically, Stryons. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. But yes, thank you for that point. So, we're not going to pop the Shizuku with access code. We're actually just going to battle into it, just to deal the battle damage. Yes, that's how we want to do it. Let me just think for another second. Triple check. We could droplet the kinda, but that's such a waste of resources. We could just save the droplet for next turn, where I think it would be much better. So, we'll just go ahead and battle. I mean, we're not going to finish our opponent off this turn anyway, so we'll just do it this way. And now they can get back Ray. That's fine. Alright, now let's move into main phase 2. Okay, they're gonna activate Ray. For another Shizuku. Okay. That's totally fine. Continue your battle step. No. Yeah, we don't have any other attacks. Alright. Now they've already used Ray, we can just go ahead and use access code and get rid of the Shizuku. Let's banish one of our Dodo-Dodo-Loos. I should have actually gone into Bow Wow Bark. I thought it was in the graveyard. Oh, it's banished. That's right, because of Callby. Never mind. Yes, and then let's pop that. Alright, now we can go into Vert Anaconda. Seems a little weird to use access code as a material, but if it's to set up the Battle Butler there, it is totally fine. Alright, and we'll activate our Anaconda's effect. And pay our 2,000 life points that we gained from 2 Dropsies anyway. See? You don't even have to, like, really pay the cost for life points. Just, this deck, I love it. Alright, we'll use Lampsies, Fansies, and Dropsies. And we even get to recycle those back into the deck. And we'll throw the Battle Butler over here. In defense mode, you play around Lightning Storm, although Sky Striker typically does not play Lightning Storm. Still good to play around it, good practice. We'll go ahead and set both Pandemonium and Droplet. And now we can pass, and phase we get Prank-Kids Pranks. And if we're really, really lucky, we'll rip Ash and just win the game right away. We'll put back Rocksies, one of our Dodals, and we have 2 Lampsies engraved, so we'll put one of those back. Maybe I should have put back another Dodo-Dodo, actually, now that I think about it. I don't think it'll end up mattering too much, but okay, they will get to engage. That's gonna have to be fine. Getting Widow Anchor. That's definitely less fine. Does this target? It does target. So we could actually just fuse right now. Let me see something real quick. This card is in your possession. Okay, so I won't get the summon. But it's better than just like losing here to our own Battle Butler. So let's go ahead and just Pandemonium. Ooh, no, we get Weather Washer, not Rocket Ride. During your opponent's turn, you typically want to get Weather Washer. We'll get Weather Washer in attack mode, sure. It doesn't really matter. The reason you want to get Weather Washer if you're going to fuse during your opponent's turn for 2 is for the effect to sack it during your opponent's turn, bring back 2 Prank-Kids, and they can't be destroyed by battle during the turn. So that can actually stop you from losing games a lot of the time, too. Opponent's going to Ash. I don't care. That's totally fine here. Nope, we don't need to chain Weather Washer. If our opponent doesn't do anything else, we will use it during the end phase to get some Prank-Kids monsters back, so we can use them for plays next turn. Monster Reborn is the last card. How about that? All right, let's see what they can bring back. The Ray, of course. Let's see what they bring back. Let's see. So they're gonna be able to set up Hayate. Okay, well, whatever. Let's just yeah, that resolves. That's fine. So they'll Monster Reborn Ray. They'll go into Hayate, attack me directly, send, I don't know, something I'm sure. Something I'm sure. Well, yeah, they're going to send something. And then they'll go to Kaigiri, get back. Or no, they're just going to. Oh, yeah, okay, duh. You Kaigiri now, because it's still main phase 1. Well, I knew it was main. Whatever, anyway. They have Engaging Grave already. That's the main point. Oh, we can just droplet this. So, yeah, that works. I'll send Ver. Maybe you should have activated Weather Washer. No, well, that would should be itself. It doesn't matter here. I guess I'll send Ver Anaconda. Yeah, alright. I want the pranks. So we need to be able to keep recycling and refueling. Oh, did our opponent just rage disconnect? I think they might have. That actually be pretty funny if they did. And we still have the Weather Washer effect too. Yeah, cool. So this is a pretty solid game against Sky Strikers. Really shows the tenacity of Prank-Kids. Like, you know, you see a lot of these games play out like it's like the first turn combo, and you're like, oh, it's just the next first turn combo, and then, you know, it's blown its load, and then whatever. What do you even do after that? I like games like this to be able to demonstrate that we do have follow-up plays, and I also get to show, you know, what you can do when you encounter some weird scenarios like we did in this game, or even if you mess up a little bit like I did. You know, nobody plays perfectly, so it's important to know how to, you know, kind of re-guide your game plan back on track after you misplay a little bit. Yeah, okay, that was a very solid game. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, next game. Hey, I think this is the first time I've seen somebody use the Moki Moki Mate. Alright, we are losing the coin flip this time, so yep, we are going second here. Well, let's see what this game's got in store for us. Okay, so we opened an Ash, that's good. We opened a Lampsies, Called by, and a Pandemonium. Opening Pandemonium is never bad. I would have liked to have opened 2 different Prank-Kids monsters ideally, but we'll take one over none, you know. Okay, opponent's leading with Prosperity. We are definitely going to Ash that. It's going to reduce our opponent down to only 4 cards to play with. Even though it's only for 3 cards, I'm still just going to go ahead and Ash this. I used to not Ash Prosperity, but that's kind of screwed me over one too many times, so yeah, we're definitely just going to go ahead and Ash here. Alright, let's see what they have in terms of follow-up. Oh no, it's Drytron! Oh no, it's Drytron! Ah! Drytron taking the first turn, that's so scary! Ugh. When they led with Prosperity, I was thinking it was going to be like Eldlich or something. Oh no. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see what ends up happening here. I'm not going to concede right now. I know it's very tempting to concede, especially when you're already plat 1. It's like, ugh, okay, I'm going second. Drytrons are comboing off. Whatever, let me just concede and move on to the next game. But the point I always make is, like, I'm playing Droplet in this deck for a reason. It's for this exact scenario of when I go second against Drytrons. I mean, of course, it's for, you know, multiple uses, but I'm not gonna lie, that is one of the main functions of that card in this deck. So, I like how, also, by the way, I like how I said, like, oh, I don't usually Ash Prosperity, but now I usually do it, and then it immediately, like, kind of backfired, but, yeah, you know, whatever, it happens. Bathed in Faith in chat makes a very good point as well, that your opponent could always mess up the combo. Actually, fun story about that. One time, way back in 2010, I was playing in Locals, and I was in the finals, and I was playing my Synchro Cat deck. I think it was Synchro Cat, or was it Infernities? I don't remember at what point in 2010 it was. But I was playing against Frog FTK, and my opponent was like, you know, established a combo, and then, you know, as they were starting the combo, they asked if I wanted to concede, and I almost said yes. I was like, yeah, I was almost like, yeah, I'll just concede, but then I thought for a second, and then I was like, no. And he was like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make you play it out. So I made him play it out, and he screwed up right at the end. He didn't leave a Water Monster on board, and he couldn't bring back Fishboard Blaster to deal literally the last 500 damage, and then as a result, on my turn, I, like, just wiped his board and, like, established a board of my own, and then he just couldn't do anything, and I won. Bathed in Faith makes an extremely good point. Your opponent could always mess up the combo. I don't think our opponent is. I actually, since telling that story, I haven't truthfully been paying too much attention to what they've been doing since I can't respond. Wow, shiny heralds. Good for them. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, they could mess up the combo. We're playing Droplet for this scenario. So it seems like if you're gonna just, like, let me put it this way. I think conceding, if you're in Plat 1, just conceding in scenarios like this, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying if you're playing 2 or 3 Droplet and you're also conceding every time you go second against Drytron, you're like, why are you playing Droplet in your deck then at that point? So, oh yeah, Chad also points out that they had a Royal Eva as well. Wow, this is like a, did I just stumble into like a top tier like Drytron player here? Hylius stumbled into a, let's say, either a very lucky one or one with fairly deep pockets. I said as though I was being subtle. Whatever. Alright, my opponent summoned their Herald of Ultimateness. Now they're going to link off into... what is this, the Union? No. Oh yeah, this is the Union Carrier. I saw the arrows and I was like, wait, this is Dodo-Dodo-Do? No, I didn't realize Union Carrier and Dodo-Dodo had the same arrows until just now. They equips the Bead Buster Drake. Oh, so this is unaffected. Wow, so this is unaffected by spell effects. Yikes. I've never seen that before. Wow. I only just drew the 3rd Lampsies anyway. Huh. I've never seen... Maybe I have, actually. Now that I think about it, I think I might actually have. Okay, I think at this point, now we can just go ahead and concede. So I'm going to do that. Let's just do that. Normally, I actually cut out games where where this happens, right? Where I lose because I just go second against Drytrons, I don't draw the out. But I don't know, we had a decent bit of banter during that game, so I think I'll go ahead and keep it. Let's go ahead and move on to another, like, real game, though. Okay, let's see. Ooh, our next opponent's in Plat 2. I wonder if we're their final boss. Well, we're going to take the first turn and find out here. By final boss, if you've never heard that phrase before, final boss is the last opponent before you get to the top rank of whatever game you're laddering on, so... Alright, let's be a good final boss here. Okay, we opened a Prank-Kids Lampsies plus an Instant Fusion, so with this line we can actually play around Ash. I don't know if I've ever actually gotten to show you this. Alright, let's go ahead and summon Lampsies, activate Instant Fusion. We're not going into Meow Meow Moo, we're just going to activate Instant Fusion. And I will summon Weather Washer with Instant Fusion. Okay, now we're going to go into our first Dodo-Dodo-Do here. We're going to use the Weather Washer and the Lampsies. And summon Dodo-Dodo-Do right there. And as we all know, we can chain block the Prank-Kids with the Dodo-Dodo-Do in order to chain block the summon effect, which is the one we care about more, in order to ensure that it doesn't get ashed. Let's see if our opponent is given a prompt to respond. They are not. Okay, so they actually don't have Ash. So we don't necessarily have to play around it anymore at this point. A card to add from deck to hand. Let's go ahead and add the Prank-Kids Pranks, since we have the other Prank Kid in hand. And we can summon a monster to the field. Let's go ahead and summon Fansies. Okay, so now I'm kind of trying to think here. Now that I know my opponent doesn't have Ash, are there any alternative lines we can move into at this point? What if I activated Prank-Kids Pranks, discarded Lampsies? Well, no, and I was going to say and then make Dodo-Dodo-Do and wheel them back. No, I don't think we need to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and go into, I think, another Dodo-Dodo-Do here. I want to get the Fansies engraved so that I can establish the Pandemonium engraves, and then I can add it back and then set up my Battle Butler play here. Activate Fansies. As I mentioned just then, we were going to send Pandemonium. And then we can summon Dropsies. Alright. And actually, I'm thinking here, because I already have another Prank Kid monster in my hand, I might even be able... Well, I don't have another Prank-Kid spell or trap. Okay, we'll just add... Well, we'll just add Pandemonium and Lampsies like we normally do then. That's fine. No big deal either way. We'll probably just banish the other Lampsies here for our Rocksies effect, now that I think about it. I'll just do it that way. Okay, let's go ahead and activate Prank-Kids Pranks. And nope, I don't need a chain. Let me just make sure. Okay, I do have a Lampsies in here, so I do want to discard the Fansies. And nope, don't want to activate yet. Some of the token in defense mode here. Alright, now let's go ahead and special summon our Bow Wow Bark using the token and the Dropsies. This is actually pretty similar to like the standard one card combo. I'm just doing it in a slightly different order here. Okay, let's activate Dropsies. And let's special summon the... Oh, you know what though? No, this can still work. Okay. I was thinking just now because if I end on Rocksies, then I can't use that to fuse Battle Butler because Battle Butler specifically takes Lampsies, Dropsies, and the last one, Fansies. But I actually already have the Lampsies in hand, and I can just Bow Wow Bark and add the Dropsies and Fansies, so that's totally fine. I'm just going to set the Pandemonium. I wonder... I'm just trying to think if it's right to, like... I don't know, do like a Meow Meow Moo and get the draw anyway. I don't need to do that. Although, if I don't do that... Ooh, I kind of messed up the order here a little bit. It's because I tried to get creative when I realized my opponent didn't have the Ash here. That's fine, though. You know, it's like I mentioned earlier, we can kind of just play out of our misplays. It's all good. And in fact, I think I'm actually good to just pass here because I can still establish a Battle Butler. I don't have a Meow Meow Moo in the graveyard, which is what I'm a little bit concerned about. But I don't know if I can get it into the graveyard is the thing. I could just try. Anyway, can I banish it from the field too? Is there any chance in the world? Or is it only graveyard? You control ore from your graveyard. Haha! This is why we read cards. This is why we always read cards. I can go ahead and get rid of my extra Maxx in this case. Oh, and actually, you know what? We get to summon a Prank-Kid, so I can even still get rid of the Lampsies. No, we don't need that. We could also just get rid of our extra Maxx anyway. I doubt we're going to need both of them. This is close. This is actually really close. I'm going to get rid of the extra C. Oh, we drew an Ash. Oh my god, that was such a good draw. Wow, that was such... Oh my god, that was such a good draw. Holy shit. Okay, cool. Now we can pass. Alright. Yes, definitely activate the effect of Prank-Kids Pranks. We're going to put back Doodle-Doodle-Doo, Rocksies, and Fansies, because we already have Fansies out. We could put back Weather Washer, actually, instead of Fansies or Rocksies. That might actually be better just to have the option to fuse into it. I'm going to do that. Instead of Rocksies, I'm going to put Weather Washer back in our extra deck. Oof, cracked my hip there when I moved just now. Jeez. Alright, yep. Let's put those back and draw. Crossout Designator. That's cool. Alright. Better to have it not needed than need to not have it. We've got Maxx and Ash, and we can Battle Butlers, so... there's not a whole lot my opponent could probably do that could concern me. I say very trepidly because I am a little worried about what they might be able to do. Is this another Drytron deck? I'm now wondering because they're dropping Pot of Prosperity again. I think it's still probably right to just Ash it, right? Let's see. Actually, if they send 3, it's probably Drytron, and I should save it. But I was going to say if they send 6, then I should definitely Ash it. Alright, I'm definitely going to Ash. Maybe that should be the kind of rule of thumb. If they banish 3, it's probably Drytron, so maybe save the Ash. But if they banish 6, it's going to be, you know, like a stun, like an Eldlich or something, so definitely go ahead and Ash that. Plus, being able to excavate from 6 cards is, look at that, it's like I'm psychic or something. Plus, being able to excavate from 6 cards is just really scary in general. Let's see what they target with Eldlich here. Pretty much no matter what it is, I'm just going to flip, Pandemonium and Bow Wow Bark. This is why I like to save the Pandemonium Bow Wow Bark's effects and not just pop them off right at the beginning as well. Like I mentioned, I think earlier in the video, because of situations like this, I do not want to use Meow Meow Moo. I always have to tell myself that because, you know, it's like, you make that misplay once and that's enough. Okay, so we're going to add Dropsies. I already have Lampsies in hand. I'm going to add another Lampsies anyway. I don't want Rocksies to be the last Prank-Kids monster left in my hand, because I might not want to, or might not even have necessarily a card to banish in order to start comboing there. Nope, we don't need to max C. That's fine. Okay, we're gonna summon Battle Butler. I just want to make sure. Is this really what I want to summon against Eldlich? Can my opponent just run over it? Should I summon Weather Washer? Let me see something real quick. Okay, if my opponent sends... Maybe I should just get Weather Washer out. If my opponent's just gonna run over Battle Butler anyway, and they're not, and my Battle Butler can't destroy the monster, shouldn't I just make Weather Washer here? I feel like the answer is yes. Is this any Prank-Kids non-fusion? Okay, non-fusion, so I can bring back Link monsters. Yo, and then I can go to access code. Oh my god, I think this is actually just the play here. And we can use... We can even keep Fansies on board. We can just use Lampsies and Dropsies. Haha, okay, so let's try this. I don't usually try this line, but, you know, it's all about experimenting, right? If we just, like, hard stick to the same combos all the time, we make potential misplays like that. Like, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about the Battle Butler, and I was like, oh, there's the dog in the background, like I mentioned, might happen there. It's all good, though. So let's see. Let's go ahead and use Lampsies and Dropsies. Oh, wait, but if I do that, then I can't use Battle Butlers. Or not Battle Butler, Weather Washer. So I'm only going to use one. Yeah, I'm only going to activate one. This way I can tribute the Weather Washer and still... Let's get... Does it really matter here? I don't want Rocksies, right? Actually, I think I do want Rocksies. No, I don't. I'll get Dropsies here. Okay, so now I can still use Weather Washer's effect. If I did both Prank-Kid summons, I wouldn't be able to do it. Unless it's up to 2. No, it's 2. Yep, so it's not up to 2. It is 2. Okay, they're going to activate Eldlich. Pop one of their back rows, probably. Oh, it's Skill Drain. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I'm definitely going to max these so I get a draw off of this. I was going to say it's probably going to be like one of their Golden Land or Golden Lord trap cards, but it actually wasn't. It was Skill Drain. So that kind of tells me their other 2 back rows are probably Floodgates too, honestly, if they just popped a Skill Drain like that. Or maybe they figure because I'm playing Prank-Kids, Skill Drain is useless. Definitely not always true, by the way. Because like I said, I think I'm going to try to access code here. And that being the case, well, you can access code and pop Skill Drain with access code anyway, so I guess it doesn't particularly matter, but, just want to make sure that I can do this during the battle phase. Good. I should have definitely read that before just letting my opponent move to their next phase, but, no, I do not want to use Meow Meow Moo. We can just tribute that. And then, yeah, like I said, I'm just going to bring back my Link monsters so I can just go into access code right away. I don't care that they're coming back into attack mode. That is A-okay with me. If I take a little damage, there is no harm in that. Well, I mean, there is harm, but... Excuse me, you know what I mean. He would just attack them, or better, they would just attack the Meow Meow Moo here anyway. I'll take 25, whatever, I don't really care. I drew a Thunder Dragon Fusion, which is a pretty good draw, so I can potentially wheel into Battle Butler pretty easily here. Yeah, if they have there can only be one, that would be unfortunate here. But I'm just going to hope it's a second Skill Drain, because I can actually play around that. Alright, let's see what it ends up being here. I'm going to go into access code first thing. That is the first thing I'm going to do this turn, unless they flip up a card now. They didn't. Okay, yep. Immediately going into access code before I do anything else here. Yes, 2 materials, yes. Awesome. Alright. So they will still get an opportunity to chain to the... Well, I guess if they have Solemn Judgment, they can just Solemn the Summon there. That's actually fine-ish. It's fine-ish. It's a little scary to me because I still don't know what this back row is. We might just have to go into... Let me think. We could go to Knightmare Unicorn. I didn't see that just now. To bait that last back row. Would we actually Knightmare Unicorn the back row, or should we Knightmare Unicorn the Eldlich? Shouldn't we just Knightmare Unicorn the Eldlich? They only have 3,500 life points. Let's do it. I'm just going to keep threatening them by immediately Link summoning. Oh, wait, but hang on. No. I wanna go into a Doodle-Doodle-Doo first. With the Meow Meow Moo and the Dropsies. And then we'll go into Nightmare Unicorn. Bear in mind, we also still haven't used our normal summon yet. And we still have Thunder Dragon Fusion. Thunder Dragon Fusion. Yeah. Okay, no prompts to respond from our opponent off the bat. That's a really good sign. Okay, they have Gozen. Well, I actually have 2 of the same attribute right now, so I guess that's lucky. But can I link them into... What attribute is Nightmare Unicorn? Like Earth, right? Let's add... Pandemonium. Special summon a monster to the field. Can I? Whoa, hang on a second. Let me see something. Let me see my extra deck real quick. What options? Okay, what? Okay, this is water? Ugh, okay. I thought I was like, is there any chance in the world Ripborn Roaster is wind? It's not, it's water. That's not. Oh, Battle Butler is wind. That's good, okay. Let me think here. What do I have in grave again? Like, do I have another Fansies to summon? I guess is what I'm asking myself. I think I do, so let's do it. I mean, if I didn't have another Fansies, yeah, it wouldn't give me the option to summon anything anyway, so. Okay. So I do still have plays here. Let me see something real quick. Just another Doodle-Doodle-Doo. Okay. So I can fuse into Battle Butler. That should be good enough here. I'll summon it in defense mode. Eldlich will go back to its regular self next turn. Then I can Battle Butler. I've got a Meow Meow Moo in the graveyard. I can even have a Called By too to like stop the Eldlich from coming back. This looks a lot scarier than it is. I think we're actually fine. Yeah, yeah. I think we're good. I think we're good. Throw Battle Butler over there. And then I'm gonna set... Okay, I'm gonna set Called By. I'm gonna set Crossout. I'm just gonna set everything. Let's just scare them. Let's just make them think we have a bunch of back row. Do I want to sack Doodle-Doodle-Doo and add anything back? I don't think so. We can just Prank-Kids prank stuff back. Okay, I'm gonna flip this to on, which I actually often do when I have Battle Butler out, just to make sure that I can use it exactly when I need to. And then I could set Lampsies. There's no real reason to do that, though. Let's go ahead. Let me just think for another second here. I'm watching my timer, too, don't worry. Let me see my extra deck again. Yeah, I think we're good to just pass here. Alright. No, don't activate. Yes, activate. Alright. Okay, we're definitely gonna put back Weather Washer again, Doodle-Doodle-Doo, and Bow Wow Bark. Yep. That sounds good to me. And we drew an Ash! Oh my god, we drew an Ash! That was such a good draw! Okay, now this can be destroyed again. If I recall correctly, right? Yes. Alright. I don't think no, I don't need to do it just yet. We don't need to pull the trigger just yet. Bad timer. Yeah, it's all good. I'm watching it, don't worry. Okay, so they set. That's fine. I don't care about that. It's the end of the main phase. Okay, battle phase. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I'll just wait for them to declare an attack. Whatever. Alright. Battle Butler. And I would love to use the effect of Prank-Kids Meow Meow Moo. Nope, we don't need to change anything else. We'll destroy that. That's fine. Into the battle step, they'll move to main phase 2, try to bring their Eldlich back, we'll call by it, and our opponent will probably concede at that point. Yep, there's the Eldlich effect, as predicted. really debating if they want to send the goes in or the face down. It kind of makes me wonder what the face down is. Must be into a floodgate if they're thinking this hard. Or maybe they're trying to figure out if I'm just going to use the Battle Butler effect again. Okay, they're just... Okay, it wasn't their floodgate. But... Haha! Haha! Called by... Pranked you! Get out of here, Eldlich. Yeah, there's the concede. We love to see it. We love to see it. Awesome possum. Alright. I'm getting a little high on time for my recording here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and move over to the outro at this point. Alright, everybody. Thank you so much for checking out those games with me. I hope you enjoyed the live games there. Yeah, especially that last game against Eldlich was such a good one. I was just telling chat, like, it's not very often that I play against Eldlich and I actually have to, like, play through the floodgates. So it's very satisfying when you get those games, and I'm so glad I got that game on camera. Live, too. Because it's like, yeah, I could have saved it as a replay, but it wouldn't have been the same. I like being able to show my live thought process, especially again in that scenario where I have to play against the stun deck and play through its floodgates. Yeah, cool. Those were some pretty solid games there. Well, I mean, the second one was the Drytron game that wasn't really that solid. We just had good banter during it. So, well, what I define as good banter. I don't know if you... Anyway, whatever. I'm just overthinking it at this point. Guys, as always, I want to thank you so very much for watching all the way to the end of the video like this. It really means a lot to me when you do. Especially if you're also commenting and subscribing. I don't feel like you have to, though. As long as you're watching, that's more than enough for me. But I do love seeing your guys' comments. You guys are really good about offering solid, constructive criticism and feedback that is really, you know, makes me consider, like, decks and cards and plays in ways that I wouldn't have thought of on my own. I say it all the time, like, you guys are the reason that I'm able to do as well in this game as I am. It's because I have, like, I feel like sometimes I have, like, 5,000 coaches, which is really rad. It's nice. It's really nice to have your guys' support. And of course, thank you to everyone in chat as well who has joined me as I streamed the recording of this video here. Always nice to have you guys in chat here with me. Again, not only to be kind of like my coaches when I need it, but also just for the support. Like, seriously, your guys' support, it genuinely does mean a lot to me. Genuinely, as my voice cracks, does mean a whole lot to me. Yeah, alright. So, like I said, thank you for checking out this video. Without further ado, this is Xlex, signing out. Hope you have a fantastic day.